for context, we are celebrating 10,000 subscribers. I'm super excited. Thank you, Kareen. And I think we're like at 11K now, which is kind of wild because it happened on Monday. And to incentivize myself and to give me something to look forward to, I bought this when I went. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know when I went to Happy Cork, which is this Black-owned wine shop here in Brooklyn. I bought some wine from them. I actually didn't buy this from Happy Cork. I bought this with, thank you, Rachel, to my best friend, got me a McBride Sisters. Hi, Tracy. Got me a McBride Sisters gift card for my birthday. And so I bought this as with that gift card and was like, okay, when I hit 10K, we're going to pop it open. And I think like maybe I got this like 3 weeks ago. So here we are. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Poise. I really appreciate that. It's so kind of you. Thank you. Also, all your money goes help me with my student loans. So in case you're wondering where it's going. And maybe some new tops, because I feel like y'all are probably tired of seeing me in the same ones, but I like Ankara print and I like to support Black-owned businesses. So I bought this to manifest myself that we were going to get here. Thank you, Regina. And so now we're going to open it. And I'm going to confess something to you while I try to open this. So this is Black Girl Magic Sparkling Brew. I'm very excited about it. However, I'm terrified of opening champagne, any type of sparkling anything. Maybe I've opened it once and something bad happened. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't recall ever opening it. I don't like loud noises. So we're going to watch me struggle to open this. This one is from Grassfields. This top is from Grassfields, which I really like their stuff. I got it before the Panorama Potpourri, that thing that is occurring. Ciao. But yes, so all of my tops that I have so far, they're from Grassfields or Ofure, which is Ofuure, or I have recently discovered, thank you. I have recently discovered Afrikia, which is, I'll put the link in there, and they are an African marketplace for the diaspora, and they have a lot of really good stuff. See, I don't even know how to take, child. This is going to be interesting. Okay. To my recollection, one of my friends will pop in and be like, no, girl, you opened it one time and probably broke something. So confession on my end, y'all ever eat like the Pillsbury canned like bread? Like, you pop it open and you put it in the oven. I think it's Pillsbury. I'm like even afraid of that. Like I'm afraid of balloons popping, like any type of popping noise. Like I avoid it. Like even the Pillsbury cans, ever since I was a little kid, like I don't open them. I opened it one time and I felt like my heart stopped. And I was like, nope, never again. To this day, like Gabriel, like my boyfriend, if we ever buy it, he'll open it. So just gonna watch me, just gonna watch me. Oh my God. Hopefully it doesn't spill. This is gonna be really embarrassing if it spills. Are you just supposed to like shoot it away from you and just like pull it up? I should have Googled this. Hi, Windfire. What go on, friend? Big things are going on. Also, we're doing it Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions, you can ask the questions. Also, I'm learning to use Instagram. So some people did put questions on Instagram. So I asked those. Right? I feel like it's going to... You might not drink this. It's not moving. Oh, Lord. How long is this going to take? Like, am I supposed to brace it against myself? Thank you, James. This whole video is just going to be me trying to open this. Hold on. I'm supposed to leave the cage. See? This is why. Hold on. Put the cage back on, child. I fell on the floor. Okay. So I put the cage back on. But there's like a thing. Then how do I take it off if the cage is on? Are y'all joking with me? This is like a joke. Okay. How would it come off if the cage is on? I'm so confused. Hold on. Something's gonna break. I have insurance. This is the first apartment I've gotten insurance for. What made me start YouTube? Child and damn student loans. Hold on. I'm gonna ask for help. Hold on. Oh, it's moving. I feel it. Oh my God, I'm afraid. I feel like I should my TV is right there. Hold on. That TV is also like from law school. It's super old. So if I break it, I mean, I don't even have the remote for that TV. Oh, what's going to happen? I'm just like afraid of the noise. If I put it against my leg, will it just like push back on my leg? Is that how this works? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 20. Why to block you. Just kidding. I'm not going to block you. Wait, are they dying because they're pointing at themselves? Oh my gosh. Well, it's not champagne. Poor me. I'm glad you guys are getting a kick out of this. Watch me open it and it just goes whoop. Or you're gonna witness, an unfortunate event. Either or is gonna happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now that we're doing this live that I've never opened it in my life. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I would have been like, hell no, and chickened out and then moved. Unless I was very drunk. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, Jesus, we survived. Oh, that was stressful. Okay, it's out. Yeah, so I probably will never get a champagne sponsorship ever because I can't open a champagne bottle. They would look at this video and be like, denied, access denied. All right, so we opened it. Woo! Thank you for walking me through that. Look, I'm terrified. Like, it's scary. Like, why? All right. Well, also, if you want to drink along, I have taken your suggestion. I'm trying to remember who said it. I will shout them out in the next video. A lovely young woman asked for that. So I have been putting, thank you, Queen. I have been putting what I'm drinking ahead of time on Instagram. So if you want to follow me at Wine and Chill, I'll start like, what's it, pin stories, child? Y'all know I don't use that thing. Pin stories. And then I'll just pin it for the week. I realized I was posting it on Monday and I'm like, oh, what happens after 24 hours? It's just gone. So cheers to 10K. Woo! 8 months later. I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited. All right. So let's get into these questions. Thank you. Whew. Said it was, thank you. After Andrew scared me and was like, 24 people die annually. There's always that one friend. See, they just have to tell you the fact of the matter. Like, well, I feel you. I'm glad we didn't die. All right. So I'm going to scroll down. I saw some questions. So let me scroll back. Oh, this is so sweet. I'm so happy that you guys are here. It really, really means a lot to me. And I have a long list of thank yous to go through. Okay. So I'm going to go through. Was being a lawyer your first choice of profession? From Windfire, my gal. Yes and no. So Caribbean parents are lovely people. They really are, as I'm about to like defame them. Love you, Dad. Immigrant parents, I've noticed in general, are very like, do the safe thing. Do the thing that, won't make you begging me money for later. Okay, cool. I have been on the legal track since the 9th grade. Yeah, since I was 14. So I went to Magnet High School in Miami. Go Cudas, shout out to Coral Reef. And when you apply to that high school, you get to pick what your major is going to be. Like in the Magnet, I wanted to apply for drama. And my dad was like, drama? Turn the TV on. So yeah, the second option was like, okay, lawyer, which we had decided. And I say we, it was more so him. My dad is like very practical. So like I grew up with my dad, like my dad raised me. I think when I was like 11 and somebody went to the hospital, went to visit them in the hospital. And I was like, oh, Daddy, I can't become a doctor. Like all they do is wear scrubs. I wasn't concerned about the blood. I was concerned about the scrubs. You don't see doctors wearing Ankara print. Also, you don't see lawyers wearing Ankara print, but it's more acceptable. Also, hold on, my top is acting a fool with me. Whoop. So I was like, oh, can't do this. Don't want to do this. And I was like, what's the other things I'm allowed to do? He's like, lawyer is fine. I was like, all right, fine. So all I did was watch a lot of Law and Order. I didn't like most kids. So I was like, okay, I could do this. So I have been in a legal program since I was 14 years old. Went to college, was like, oh, I'm going to be a lawyer. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. I'll be good at this. Like, whatever. Went to law school, passed the bar the first time. And here I am. I think the follow-up question, which people have asked, like, what would I do if I wasn't a lawyer? I would love, and I've said this before, I would love to work in production. Like, behind the scenes, I think, like, or I don't know, the more we do YouTube, the more I'm like comfortable doing this, which is like kind of cool. But I think production is amazing. I think it's amazing to see an end product, to like be creative. I have like the utmost respect for people that work in production. It's also really hard work, child. The poor PAs. Shout out to the PAs. So yes, I have known from a long, long time that this was the life path. Kareen asked, did you hear about Kwame Brown? I don't know who that is. So I'm gonna have to Google that. I'm gonna have to Google him. All right. Let's see. I feel like I saw another question. If not, I'll start pulling up the questions from Instagram, which I'm like, how does that really work? Oh, Andrew asks, have you had any Rioja, Grand Reserva lately? I have not. I'm going to have to try that. Oh, champagne is good with strawberries. Brittany, you're so smart. I have blueberries. I didn't have that. Oh, so Ray Evans asks, we'll do this one and then I'll go to the Instagram questions. I know you, so let me do that. I know you probably can't say much about it, but do you remember the first case that you won? So there are two types of attorneys: litigators, which they try cases, and transactional attorneys, which they negotiate deals. I am a transactional attorney. I have never done litigation. Ironically enough, in law school, they have this program called moot court, which is like very prestigious. And basically you have to audition to get on moot court. And moot court is basically like a mock trial where they give you a case, you compete, you like actually interview, you depose witnesses technically on the witness stand. There are people like on opposing teams from different law schools. So I did moot court. Hi, Jace. I did moot court and I did very well in moot court. Like I did well because I think I like talking. Like I like to chat. Let's be honest. So they have in lawsuits in litigation closing arguments, which you guys have probably seen. Like the most famous closing argument I think is Johnny Cochran being like, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. So closing arguments, the lawyers write themselves. So moot court, same thing. You write the closing argument yourself. Ironically enough, the case we did was a defamation case, and I wrote the closing argument. And to be the closer is like a big deal. So shout out to Seth, who was my co-counsel, and my dear friend in law school. He was my co-counsel, so we did it together. So he really obviously wanted to be the closer. Like the closer is the big thing. So we both auditioned, we both made the team, and it was like either me or him. Like somebody's going to be the closer. So I won. I got to be the closer, and I did like very well, like surprisingly well, I think to some people, being the closer. And I really enjoyed it. But for litigation, you're only in court less than 10% of the time, unless you work in public service. My friend Desiree, who's been on the channel, she's in court all the time. But like if you work in private practice, you're rarely in court. A lot of it is drafting. I have no interest like being in contentious situations with people all the time. Personally, I'm a little too fiery for that sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's not going to end well. So I wanted to do transaction, which is a little bit, should be more collegial. Depends on how opposing counsel acts. So I negotiate deals all day. That's what I have been doing, which is why the channel, we can get to like why I think someone asked, why'd you start YouTube? So I'll go into that one, why the channel originally kind of segued into that. But we do discuss a lot of lawsuits because more often than not, people are suing each other and not necessarily leaking their contracts. So yes. Oh, this is an easy question. Curry goat or curry chicken? Curry shrimp. I'm curry shrimp all day. But yes, curry goat over curry chicken. I make curry chicken like once a month sometimes. Curry chicken is like fine. It's like regular. Hi, CC Funk One. How are you? All right. So let me go. Someone asked me why did I start the channel, so I want to get into that. So I've always wanted, in the back of my mind, I'm going to be honest, full honesty. I had a friend when we graduated law school and was like, Stephanie, do you really want to be an attorney? And I was like, girl, we just graduated law school with all this money. Like, what is this question? And she was like correct in her thinking, to be honest. And she was like, the things you liked about your internships, because I interned all of law school. Like I interned at Bad Boy. And because I interned at Bad Boy, people were like, oh, you must have thick skin. Like, this must be great. Like, how do you get this internship? This must be like some like whiz kid. And I was like, that is luck and hard work. And I'm always honest about that. You can work yourself till you're blue in the ground. If luck never finds you, the hardest working people I know are poor. It's very sad. It's an unfortunate reality of life. So luck carried me a little bit away and met my hard work. And that's how I got the internship. So I always like to keep that 100. If I didn't work hard, then it wouldn't have happened for me. Okay. So I interned there. I interned at a few like high profile tech companies and I enjoyed it, but it was always like, I feel like something's kind of missing. Like, okay, we're doing this. And so she said to me, I think you'd be good at production. So this dropped like the production seed in my head. I think you'd be a good producer. I was like, what the hell? What does that even mean? Like, what do they even do all day? I don't even know. Unbeknownst to me, which is ironic, my best friend, Shayna, who originally started the channel with me, was a producer, right? So Shayna's a producer for this very well-known retail company, website producer. She produced like photo shoots, all this cool stuff. And we used to talk about like work all the time because we were always together, but I never knew like what her title was. So once she said it to me, I said to Shayna. Shayna was like, oh, I'm producer. Like, that's literally in my title, associate producer at the time. I was like, oh, what do you do all day? I was like, oh, I know what you do all day. That sounds fun. I didn't know that's what like that meant. Okay, cool. I was like, well, I'm just curious. I have a little bit of time on the side, like, why don't I try like a production? Like, how are we going to try a production? Like small scale. So I just want to know, like, what does it mean? Also, I had a very insightful boss, my first boss in corporate, this awesome, like badass, like Eastern European woman who worked a corporate job for years in her mid 40s, was in super good shape. And her passion was MMA fighting. Like she would come into the office sometimes with a black eye and she would win. She would come in and be like, I'd be like, did you win? She's like, of course I won. It was the wildest thing. And so when I first started, she was like, what are your hobbies? And I was like, hobbies? Girl, I've been in school all these years. I don't know what that means. Like, what do you do for fun? And so she put the seed in my head, like, life is not about work. Like, you have to have something you're passionate about. So in my mind, I was like, well, let's try this production thing. I don't know what that means. This is a long-winded story. I'm sorry. So I bug Shayna and I'm like, Shayna, I want to try production. What is a low-scale production that I could put on? And so we're thinking. I don't know what the top is not cooperating today. We're thinking. And I was like, oh, why don't we do a YouTube video? I'm somewhat familiar. Everyone goes on YouTube for different, like YouTube, you can do different things. This is in 2017. If you look at the channel, so that the first video is me and Shayna talking about natural hair in the workplace. It is a 3-minute video that me and her scripted out, found a place to shoot it, found someone with a camera. Child went through a whole rigmarole, like a real production, like had a list. It was great until we came to the editing section and it was like, well, who's going to edit this? And I was like, girl, that I don't know. And this is before I became like a tech lawyer. I worked in entertainment at this time. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I barely know how to use my phone. My dad forced an iPhone on me. I had like a flip phone in college. I was like, that's commotion. That's commotion I don't want in my life. So 3 months it took us to edit this 3-minute video. Just sad, just pitiful. I love that video. That video brings me a lot of joy. After that, I was like, okay, twin, I like this. I call Shayna twin. I was like, okay, twin, I love this. Like, let's keep going. Like, we could do this together. And she was like, girl, no. You don't like editing. I don't like editing. We're not doing this. And I was like, what? So 2 years passed. 2019 comes and she's like, Stephanie, just go do it by yourself. And I've said this before, I think. Go do it by yourself. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be one of those people talking in the camera to themselves. It's weird. It'll be uncomfortable. I did this awful video. And I said this in my YouTube journey. Like, I do my student loan updates every month, which this month it's very late. I apologize. It'll be up on Sunday. I did it there. And 2019, I was like, okay, let me film a video by myself. Videos I think is very funny. It's about nosy coworkers, social media. The lighting is bad. The audio is bad. The whole thing, it looks awful. Okay, whatever. Pandemic comes. I was like, oh, let's try this. Let's try this again. Like, I have nothing to do. Like, I'm at work, but like, we're at home all day. Okay, so I'm like, so then I'm thinking to myself, I liked the production, but like, what does it mean to produce my own little YouTube? What's something that's important to me? Okay, let me document my student loan journey because I want to keep myself honest. I want to continue to pay off my student loans. I'm on a 4-year aggressive student loan repayment plan. If you don't know, most of y'all know, that's all I talk about, child. Lawsuits and student loans. So I did that. And then when I think like a month into the channel, Kanye tweeted out his contract. And then Chelsea, my dear friend, screenshotted all of those tweets. And then that's how the pivot to, oh, let's talk about entertainment law, like something I know a lot about. Oh yeah, let's marry the things that I'm good at. Don't mind the Brooklyn noise. Let's marry the things that I'm good at, which is I like talking to people, pretty decent attorney. Oh, the back end of a litigation is a transaction. Like the transaction, I know like the back of my hand. Like, okay, what went wrong in the transaction? All right, so long-winded answer to why I started YouTube and how we got here today. Okay, so, and to raise original question that I've never litigated anything, which I think I answered, but making sure. Okay, so I'm going to answer this one from Blood Honey. What's your fave? Rice and peas, gongo peas, kidney beans, pigeon peas, black-eyed peas. Oh, lots of peas. Also, I was today years old when I learned how gongo peas was spelled. This is the first time I'm reading it out loud. I'm like, huh, that makes sense. So I'm not a big rice person. I love bread and I love dumplings. Love dumplings. Like spinas, I will eat you out. If you don't know, it's like the little spinny dumplings. If you ever had ordered oxtail and the people are stingy with the gravy, My grandpa complains because I used to live with them. I will literally take out all the spinas and I will take out all the oxtail. And pigtail is my favorite, by the way. So I'll eat white rice, plain white rice with pigtail. But yeah, rice and peas, I'm just like, it's fine. Like my grandma's rice and peas is good because she puts a Scotch bonnet in there. Like hers is my dad's rice and peas is also very good because he likes it spicy. I love like super spicy food. Like even his ackee and saltfish is spicy, which I'm just like, this is unnecessary, but it tastes good. My ackee is better than his. My grandma confirmed it. Just want to put that out there in case he's watching. Love you, Dad. All right. Thank you for all the congratulations. Okay. Aw, Jace, why are you feeling attacked? What happened? Who did what? Relax yourself. This is a good question. Would you consider being a lawyer for a music production company or an artist? I had private clients is what I always call them. I had private clients before. It takes a certain personality type to have private clients. So kudos to the people that do the law firm life. When you work in-house, like I work at a company, so I have internal clients, but we are on a schedule. Like, I mean, tech runs a little later than usual, but like we're at work, you know? When I had private clients, particularly like artists, they call whenever. Child, they're like, oh, I'm going on stage at 12 o'clock. I had like up and coming. I'm gonna be honest. I had up and coming artists. Oh, I'm going on stage. Oh, was I supposed to sign something? And I was like, you didn't even send me an agreement. They're like, okay, I'm gonna screenshot it to you. You're kind of what? It's 11 o'clock at night. Y'all know I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Back in the day, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not trying to read anything at 11 o'clock at night, like to be honest. So that world, and I think if you wanted like more about entertainment specifically and like how entertainment runs, how music runs, it's in the video about, Lord, I'm forgetting the man's face. It's a live. So the last live is Joe Budden. It's the live before that. It's something about like change in corporate work. Scott Rudin, I think, is in that video. It's in there. But if you want to work in those industries, which back in the day when I was young and I had energy, yeah, like we could stay up late, we could do all of that. Like I can get it done. Now I'm like, Lord Jesus, it's past my bedtime. It's literally past my bedtime. So not necessarily my cup of tea these days. If you don't get a scanner. Exactly. Gabriel, is this you? I think this is my boyfriend. It's foolish self. Or whoever this is has the same name as my boyfriend. So that's super funny. A lot too many hours. I told you I'm trying to manifest a 4-day work week, which is why we should change the name from Weekend Wind Down to something else because it's Thursday now. But I would like the weekend to start. Thank you. All right. So who's calling curry chicken regular? Oh, well, me. Listen, my dad, like growing up, would make curry chicken once, twice a week. I was like, sir, can we have something else? So then when I started working, I've started working 15, I think. I used to be like, okay, cool, we're gonna have curry shrimp because I have some cash now and I just spend my money. Listen, I'm being honest. Hi Brianna, what are your 2 favorite shirt companies? Oh, thank you. Besides right now, which it's just like, it's the bra, it's not cooperating. Sorry, the bubbles. I would say Grassfields this is Grassfields. They do a nice shirt. So I would like lift up so you can see it. You never can like see the whole thing, but it's like very structured. It's nice. It's great quality. I love Ankara print for multiple reasons. But you feel happier. You feel homier. You feel like, oh, like I did a little something. I got dressed. Also, the designs are always so intricate. So I really like Grassfields. Ophur is good. Ofuure is great for the price. But I was going to wear like the blue top that I haven't worn in like forever, but the sleeves are too big. So sometimes the sizing is a little bit different, is a little wonky. Since I've just discovered, actually, I told y'all I would send this. So hold on, Afrikia. Let me send this to y'all here. I like Afrikia because they're a marketplace. So basically the green top that I just got, so saved my little pennies and got the green top is SoSoDen, SOSO.den, if you look at them on Instagram, and they sell through Afrikia. So Afrikia I would say it's not like Etsy, because Etsy is like homemade crafts. It's more like, I don't shop that much, but a place that you like, I don't know, like if Amazon had a lot of clothing options and then it has all of the sellers on it, I would say. So definitely do that. All right. What was the hardest year of law school and what was the best? This is a good question. The hardest year of law school is the first, because law school is a slap in the face. It is rude. It is disrespectful. So in law school, they do this very mean, old, asinine practice called Socratic method. So Socratic method means your professor, and different schools do it differently. I will say, full transparency, the schools in the South are harder than the schools in the North. I said what I said and I stand behind that. And I know that because I transferred law schools. I started at Loyola in New Orleans, shout out to them, love, highly recommend, and transferred to Brooklyn Law School after my 1L year. And I'll tell y'all why in a second. And they do this thing called Socratic method across all law schools. And depending on the professor, they might do it a little bit differently. What I notice is, and these are nice people, these professors, so all of my friends I went to law school all have the same complaints. The way the Socratic method works is you read your cases. So like, I don't know, like 50 to 100 pages, like depending on like how much they want to assign you. And you have to read per class. At Loyola, we had 6 classes, which was a lot. It was a lot of reading. It's fine. I like to read. So you read the case, and then the professor will call on somebody and they will change the facts of the case. And then you have to learn out loud in front of everybody to apply the law to the varying facts. Okay, fine. My first day of class, which I don't know if she ever watched this, but shout out to Misha, who was my Balsa mentor and is a lovely human being. My lovely Balsa mentor, which to this day, I've never, actually, have I ever re-asked her about this? I should, to bother her. Told me, so Balsa is Black Law Students Association, and at Loyola, they do this great thing where you can meet your mentor. You can sign up for one. You can meet them before class starts, which was great. Like, I moved to New Orleans. I didn't know anybody. Like, everything was new, much to my dad's terrifying horror. There are 5 Jamaicans in all of New Orleans, and I know because he literally looked them up and then found a friend of a friend and literally introduced me and was like, if something goes wrong, call so-and-so. And I was like, this is a stranger. Anyways, so I go and I meet her. She's so nice, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, these are my list of professors. Like, great. I've had all of them. Loyola is like the New Orleans, Loyola at New Orleans is like a small school. She's like, oh, they're wonderful. You're gonna do well. For this professor, my contracts professor, Professor Sen, sit in the front row and look at him dead in the eye, and he won't call on you the first day, right? Anybody else who has good sense would have been like, she's scamming you. She's trying to see like what's going to happen from her mentee. Not me, not naive me who like somebody says gullible on the wall and I'm looking up. So I sat in the front row on the first day of class, looked at Professor Sen dead in his eye, who was still is a very tall man. He looked back. So I'm like, okay, so he's going to peruse around. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. He looks then at the roster, Miss Stephanie. I said, no. I said, why, Jesus? What did I do to deserve this? It was the learned hand case. I will never forget that case. For an hour and 45 minutes is me and my terrified first generation self sitting there like, oh my God, I'm going to get an F. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail out of law school, and just answering the questions. And they just sit there and they just grill you in front of everyone. It was horrifying. Apparently, I did very well. I got the second highest grade in that class. Like, I did very well. It is an awful, awful experience. The first year, thank you. The first year of law school is just terrifying. I took my property exam, and I'll never forget this. Took my property exam, got in my car, bawled, called my dad, and he's like, what's wrong? Like, he thinks somebody's robbed me. Like, in his mind, he's convinced like I'm like living some rough life. So he's like, oh my God, this child here, like I'm bawling. He's like, what's wrong? I was like, I failed my test. And he's like, how do you know that? You just took the test. There's no way. And I was like, I just feel it in my spirit. Child, I got an A-. I did very well in law school. But it was the pressure. And the reason why the pressure is there is because law school has a forced curve, which the forced curve is extremely mean, extremely acidine. Certain schools, like if you get into Ivy League, and if you can, highly recommend, if you don't have to pay the sticker price, they don't have grades. Every other school, they have grades and they have a forced curve. What a forced curve does is, say everybody in the class scored a 90 to a 100. In the US, a 90 is an A-. Like, oh, we're doing good. 100, A+. Okay, cool. Not in law school. If there are 100 of us, oh God, my math is bad. Let's say 20, Charles. Let's just small numbers. If there are 20 of us and we all get a 90 to 100 in the class, the way it works in law school, they will force a curve. The 2 people that got the 100 will get an A. Then they'll say like, okay, 10 of you can get a B. Then what are we at? We're at 12. Okay, my math. 5 of you, so now we're at 17. 5 of you will get a C. So anybody that got, let's say, the 95 to 97 will give you a C. And then everyone else, the other 3 of you, like, you're getting a D and an F, which is terrifying. So you put that into the mind of a 22-year-old who's like, Lord Jesus, like, nobody in my family has ever gone to law school. Like, I don't, like, what is happening? I was convinced, which creates a very unnecessary competitive environment amongst a lot of law schools. Loyola didn't have that. Everybody was very kind, shared notes. But I have friends that went to other law schools. Like, people won't share notes with you. Like, they're extremely cutthroat because they basically pit you against each other. Like, well, somebody is gonna get a bad grade, and it's not me, boo-boo. It's not me. So yeah, that was awful. The best year of law school was 3L. So it's 1L, 2L, 3L. Third year was great. Me and my dear friend Leah and Desiree, child, we went on so many trips. I planned it to where the last semester of law school, I didn't have any exams. I took all practical classes. So I had papers, but not exams, which was great. We went to Guatemala for like 5 days on a, I don't know, like, I think it cost like $120, like, round trip, something like ridiculous. It was like a sale, and we just ran around. I hiked up a mountain, a volcano. That was crazy. We went back to New Orleans. I took them to New Orleans because Desiree had never been. It was awesome. Like, I had the great time. So that's definitely how the curve works. So unless you went to a different law school that doesn't have the curve, but that's how it works at Loyola. So anyways. So let's see. What is your favorite book? Fiction. Oh, Lord Jesus, this damn bra. And I know how that works at Loyola because I know people that failed out of law school. Mean. What is your favorite book? Fiction. What is my favorite book? Fiction. My favorite nonfiction book is Becoming, which is probably like very cheesy. I'm sure that's like everybody's answer. My favorite fiction book. I haven't thought about the book in a long time. Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love that book. I think it's just cute. It's just like a cute book. I read it like years ago. Like, I think I had to read it in high school or something. And I was like, wow, what a lovely, lovely book. So I really like that. And then I was going to tell y'all, but I'm not going to tell y'all. Oh, I really like period pieces, like about like old historical fiction. Sometimes, the colonized will just stick in you. I need to unlike it, but I really do. So like, I used to love reading books about like Marie Antoinette. It's very strange. I need to stop. All right. So why did you transfer to Brooklyn Law? I wanted to practice law in New York. So Loyola has a common law and a civil law. Louisiana, I think, is the only civil law state. Civil law is different from common law, which is like very interesting. I was like in the common law track, but I knew like, I want to practice in New York, so I transferred. Also, my big reasoning was, if I want to intern in entertainment, because at that point I was like, I think I'm going to work in entertainment. I don't know where the idea came from. All of entertainment is either in LA or New York. I have family in New York. Good old Daphne, my grandma, and my grandpa. Yeah, I feel like people always like talk about their grandma, and then they forget their grandpa. Sorry, grandpa. Live in New York. So I was like, okay, I could live with them. Like, it'll be nice. So that's why I transferred. Awesome. Oh, good. So I don't know. The older I get, the more I have like a mixed relationship with period pieces, but I love them. Like, basically anything Keira Knightley's in, like, I've seen it and I've probably read the book. Like The Other Boleyn Girl. Keira Knightley's not in that one. Great. My favorite period piece, which nobody asked, but sorry, I'm going to tell you. The Duchess. If you want to see something trifling, like just a trifling movie, go watch that. And it's beautiful. It's like beautifully shot. It's super interesting. But if you want to see some people act a fool and it's based on a real story, just trifling. All right. Here we go. So James, what's a typical day in the life for Stephanie on a Monday or weekday and on a weekend day? I always wonder like if you guys would be interested in like a little, what do they call them? A daily vlog. I've been meaning to do like my morning routine and trifling. I need to do it. So I wake up at 4:15. It's joyous for the sheer reason, I think we talked about this last time, is because I want to avoid people in the gym. So I get to the gym at 5 because there are less people in there. The more people in there, they're usually doing nonsense. And then like, it's just annoying. They're just like in the way. Like, it's not a puppy show. Like, just move. just move. Like I like to let's get things done. So usually we are back from the gym 6:30-ish. So like usually like in the gym like hour 10 minutes, hour 20 minutes, depending on like what I did. Also depending like if I'm training, I need to get back into like training. But and then what time are we at? We're at like 6:30. Then to be honest, I like frowns around. Like I try not to check social media in them like when I wake up. Like it's bad for you, they say. It's all these things. I completely agree. So I try not to do it. So then I'll check it after the gym. Because at that point I'm like, I've been up 2 hours. Like I could handle whatever foolish, hotep, nonsense, comments that are in the Joe Budden video. If y'all want to see the most stupid comment I got today, is on my Instagram. And they're lucky that I didn't fully cuss them clean out. And I'm trying to do better and like not get mad about it. But I'm just like, you know what? People just like try me for no reason. They like to try Black women. It's not exclusive to me. So we're to 6:30. So then I frowns around, check social media, make breakfast. Now I get to make breakfast, which is nice. Pre-pandemic, I'm a big breakfast person. I used to like pre-make the breakfast. So now I'm like, oh, I can like actually make the breakfast nice. So like protein shake. I put like I have protein shake and then I put like spinach in it, berries in it. You don't taste the spinach. People are always like, what? My coworkers will see me drinking it because sometimes I'll frowns around and then I'm still drinking by the time I log into work. And they're like, ooh, that just looks gross. I put like oatmeal in it too, like just the oats. So yeah, and then like I'm going to be honest, I used to log to work super early, like, but now with work from home, I'm trying to reset boundaries because not to make excuses, but part of the reason why I've been late 2 weeks in a row is that work just keeps going. And like, there's always going to be work, like particularly you work in house, you're like the post office. There's always something. So I've tried to like be better about setting my boundaries because if I don't, then I don't get to work on the things that mean a lot to me, which is this YouTube and which is talking to y'all, which brings me a lot of joy. So after work, like 7-ish, around there on a good day, then I make dinner, unless like I meal prep lunch. I try to meal prep lunch and then I try like, to make dinner and then like work on YouTube. So like I work on YouTube like early in the morning and then late at night. So like I work on that. And then, yeah. On a good day, like usually, so Gabriel, my boyfriend, is big on like, oh, like, we have to watch our shows like while we eat. I don't believe in TV during dinner. That's how you could tell what type of parents I had, which is good because then that just makes me turn everything off. I'm like, okay, let's just relax. And then I'm very big on like at least once a week, like no nothing, just like for a day for like no nothing. So yeah, Robert, I know you're not asking this question knowing good and well you know the answer to this. Look at you try to con me. Oh my God, be in this show. I'm gonna have to edit all of this out. Hi, Liberated Life. So I don't do legal consultations for a few reasons. But yeah, I don't do them, which I've talked to y'all about. Like I work in corporate, so technically it just would be complicated. Also, to be honest, I think there are other people that really get a lot of joy from having private clients. I'm just gonna be honest. Exactly, Angel. Robert is trying to troll me. He knows the answer. He's trying to troll me. Thinks I'm not onto him. Which this is probably like a good segue into my long laundry list of thank yous. And my favorite thing to do, Brian's question. I'm just kidding, Robert. I'm just kidding. My favorite thing, child, and lost my train of thought. What I was about to say. My favorite thing to do is blame corporate, but really corporate is to blame for eating my time. I wanted to do a nice presentation and then do a screenshot of all of like some of your comments like over this 8-month period to say thank you to all of you. You know, if we ever hit 100K, we'll do it there, which would be really nice. So instead, I'm going to do it from memory. So just a few people, just in general, just a random sprinkling of things. I just want to say I'm grateful, for all of you. Thank you so much. Like this has really been a dream come true for me. Like, y'all want to hear me talk about legal stuff? Like I'm still like confused. Like I'm still surprised. I'm still in shock. So I appreciate you to the utmost. So I want to say thank you. You know what's interesting? You get used to like seeing people's name and their avatar. So I'll start with Robert. Robert is one of them. I appreciate your witty commentary all the time. If you haven't seen his witty commentary, you're missing out. It cracks me up. It's great. There were a few specific laughs. Thank you, Angel. So kind of you. There were a few specific laughs that I wanted to share with everyone. So maybe like I'll have to, maybe when we get there, more incentive for us to get there, we can do that. So I wanted to say thank you to you. Thank you to all of you who have so kindly used your money to help me. Like, that is never lost on me. Never, never, never lost on me. Like, I super appreciate it. So because it's just so kind of you. It's just really so kind of you. I would like to say thank you to Liberated Life for always being here. For Kareen, thank you so much. To Windfire, y'all have built me up and like really just, I appreciate all of it. Like I just feel like I'm so used to you guys and you're so used to me that if you weren't there, I'd be like, oh damn, what did I do wrong? To be honest, sometimes when I'm like, oh shit, they didn't like this one. I gotta pivot this. So I really appreciate that. I would like to say thank you to GRTV, who in my head is like just reminds me of a lot of my family members, because we've talked about like England, like just like a kind person. So thank you for believing in my little dream, even like when I was like, oh, it's like a little hobby, like whatever, like it's fine, like it's cute, like, they'll get bored of me and it'll be fine. Like, that's okay. At least I got to try. So I appreciate that. I'm thinking of someone specifically, but I don't know how to pronounce their username, which is like AIC. They know who I'm talking about. It's like a Phoenix avatar, and they always comment. I think they're a teacher, and I just love that you correct me with kindness, quick too. Stephanie, that's not how you say that. Correct, child. My pronunciation needs work. Also, how do you say Maul's name? Real question, because I've said it now. Last time, the first video, people were like, you're saying it wrong. I was like, okay, I apologize. I'm going to fix it. And then I changed it to the other way. And they're like, you're still saying it wrong. This is the other way. So now, sorry to that man. I don't know how to pronounce that man's name. I'm going to learn whenever he finally says how the heck his name is said. So I appreciate y'all. That's what I said, like Maul. Okay. And then somebody's like Jamal. And I said that. And then today, because there's 2 videos, somebody was like, that's not how it is. And I was like, well, go argue with the other people who told me to say it this way. I just find it interesting. Thank you. So yeah, and I'm missing a lot of people. I want to say thank you to Nick Capelli. I think that's his last name, which is always interesting. He'll pop in every once in a while. But when I had the Kanye video, he was one of the first people to comment and was like, this is great. You're going to make it. Like, I fully believe in you. And then I think he put like what number of like subscriber he was. And that has always meant like really a lot to me. Like, I don't know if people realize that like on the other end, it's like a scary venture. Like, oh, I'm going to sit here and talk to people and like maybe they'll watch it, maybe they'll hate it, or maybe, so that is never, never lost on me. And of course, I would never do this list without saying thank you to my A1 since day one, which is Jace. Jace, your commentary has cracked me up. Thank you for being sometimes the only person that calls in. I appreciate you, because I'm like, oh Lord, I'm about to be like, y'all want to call in? Like, it's going to be awkward. So I appreciate you for always calling in, always being vulnerable and giving your story. It means a lot, a lot, a lot to me. Thank you, James, for always being here. Always the first person in the live, always like telling me like, oh yeah, you're doing good, like, or this, or we can try this, and pushing me past my boundaries, which is nice. Like, I like to feel like, oh, we're doing new things. I don't want it to ever feel stale. I really am going to like have a fit with this gosh darn top, but it's totally fine. It's totally, totally fine. I appreciate all of you. Like, it's been like so great, and it's been great to like grow with all of you. Brianna, thank you for always being here. Liberated Life, which I think I said, I don't know if I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. So, and to everyone else, to all of you. And there are a lot of people that I didn't say all the names, and I should say all the names, but it has meant a lot to me. So we're going to have to do like a full video. I'm done with this. Listen, that made me laugh. Candy, thank you to Candy. Listen, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for y'all. So I am very cognizant of that and 100% honest. 100% honest about it. Like, I'm surprised. Every day I'm just surprised. I am surprised. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Candace. And to my IRL, I think it's like real time or in real life, whatever, child, the kids are saying. Friends, this page would not exist. This is going to be a long soapbox. I'm sorry. I should drink more. This page would not exist if Shayna didn't let me bug her into doing that first video, which y'all should watch because I think it is cute. And points were made. And also, y'all can see how my hair used to look, the damage from when I used to straighten it like all the time for corporate. And then when I finally was like, I'm not doing it anymore, damaged, honey. Hair was damaged. Also, yes, my natural hair is jet black, which I kind of miss it. Sometimes I want to go back, but I'm like, oh, the blonde is like, I'm used to it now. Thank you, 20. I love you, who has always believed in me. To Rachel, who's the best fucking cheerleader ever. Oh, sorry. My best friend, who I don't have. She got me that lovely wine glass. Thank you, Erica. So kind of you. Thank you. She got me the wine glass that says wine and chill with Stephanie. Was like, Stephanie, you're going to get there. Which it means a lot to have friends that like believe in you and show it. And I always try to be that friend back too as well. So I just want to say thank you. And how could we talk about this without talking about Chelsea and Jasmine? So Chelsea and Jasmine, in the beginning, helped me with so much research, helped me like talk about ideas. And most importantly to me, like that was helpful. Yes, let's talk about it. Help me learn how to deal with like internet culture, internet etiquette, because child, at first when people used to say reckless things to me, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a problem. Like me and this person are gonna get in like a serious argument. They're like, you cannot argue with people on the internet, Stephanie. I was like, but why? Like, I'm a lawyer. Like, what do you mean? They're wrong. Like, they're saying wild stuff to me. You should really go look at Instagram and see that wild thing someone said to me. And they're like, you cannot argue with them. I'm like, what are you going to raise? Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all are going to make me cry. I'm not crying. I refuse. And talk me off the ledge. There was a time we literally went on a girls trip, which I said this, I think like last time, those are trolls. I feel like y'all are like, think of me like a grandma, like, okay, explain to grandma what that is. I know. I know now, but before I was like, oh no, like blood pressure through the roof. We went on a girls trip, right? Like 4 of us. Had so much fun. And we like drove, and someone literally, and I said this like last time, copied my entire Kanye video, cropped out the part where it says, welcome to Wine and Chill. And then put in the caption that they knew me, that they asked for the video, and I did the video for them. When I tell you, first of all, like, I don't think my blood pressure has ever been that high in my life. I was like, oh, like, you don't realize that I will bun all of it down. Like, excuse me? When I tell you I was so angry. And they're like, you can't interact with this person. You just need to report it, like, blah, blah, blah. So, I reported it. YouTube took it down because obviously like all they did was steal everything. Their face is nowhere in it, nothing. It's not commentary. It's just the whole video. Child, I think they had like 10 or 15,000 views. And I was like, what? They sent me an email and was like, oh, I don't know why you think you're all of that. I said it was yours. I was like, first of all, no, you did not. And then I was like, wait. I'm not about to argue with this crazy person. I'm about to argue with you. Which that is all due to Chelsea and Jasmine, because child, I was sitting there like, oh, like fire is going to happen. Fire from hell is going to happen. So yeah, child, it was this very interesting human being who, awful. Oh, this is a great question. Do you regret taking out the student loan? So actually, hold on. Before we get into this, I didn't finish my long laundry list of thank yous. So thank you to them and to Lisa there too. And then thank you to my friends and family, particularly because if I don't say it right now, my dad will kill me. My Uncle Peter, who has shared almost all my videos on Facebook, specifically my dad, the Don Dada, because he wants some recompense for sharing said receipts, said videos on Facebook. He's so silly. Love you, Dad. I'm not buying you a Lambo because I wouldn't, it's reckless and I don't have Lambo money. He thinks I'm buying him a Lambo. So I appreciate that. And then it was interesting because at first they were like, you're going to do what? Why are you on YouTube? And then I actually went on, I don't know what Channel 1 News here in New York, and talked about like my student loans, which was pretty cool. And then they kind of were like, oh, you look good on the television. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I want to say thank you to them. And thank you to Babe. Thank you, Gabriel, to my boyfriend. Child, that bit has helped me learn how to edit. When I tell you, I was like, I don't get it. Help me try to do a thumbnail. Y'all have seen the old thumbnails where you can't like read the lettering? Just a mess. has, lent me his computer, to be honest, for like 6 months, because like my computer just stopped working and because I'm broke. Finally got a new one. Y'all remember when I just used to I was like, the computer is not working, child. It's just like not working. So, and for dealing with me like through all this, because it's just been interesting, like to work full time and then to do this. So I appreciate that. Oh, child, the accent comes out all the time. Hold on. So back to this important question, and I feel like I probably missed somebody, and then I'm going to remember and then say it again. Do you regret taking out your student loans? I try to live my life with no regrets, but if I were to have one, it would freaking be that. Would I do it again? Is that the question? Heck no. Heck no. And I've talked about this a lot in my videos, and I think I'm going to talk about it more. Hopefully that video goes up on Sunday. I know I'm super late. I apologize again. In my monthly, like, hey, this is what I paid this month. We're working off $304,000, which I think I'm 80 something thousand dollars paid since February 2020. So I'm getting there, but also that means that I'm at 229 on Instagram. I keep track of it, so that way you guys can always see. That's a lot of money. Like, the feeling you get from paying off that much money and then still owing a house, it doesn't feel good. If I could do it again, heck no, I would not have listened to career services. Like, I'm low-key, like, I have words for them that are not kind, so I'm not going to say it. There's no way they should be allowing, like, people to borrow that much money. School shouldn't cost that much, but you also shouldn't encourage people to borrow that much. So, yeah, no. Wouldn't have taken them out. Nope, nobody, nope. Don't recommend. How would you pay for law school? If I didn't, so to be honest, I have a video on, is law school worth it? So if you're thinking about law school, highly recommend you watching that. I recommend, which I didn't do because I didn't have any sense. And I was like, I'm going to go to law school. Like, my life is in this path, like whatever. Amen to this. Scammers. There's scammers in there. I really recommend doing a working gap year, like not frou-frou gap year that you see the rich and privileged doing. Like, I'm traveling through Europe. First of all, who has the money or the time? I mean, like, take a year to work in the field that you're interested in and then see if you like it. I think if I had done that, I don't know if I would have even went to law school. I might have been like, oh, this is not, what was her name? Not Olivia Benson was the detective. What was the DA's name in Law and Order? I'm like, this is not giving me DA. This is not giving me the vibes that I thought it would be. And I would have had some sense. But I didn't know. And then when you go to law school, particularly, again, by career services, why I would never give them a red cent. Loyola, I will give some money, but not Brooklyn Law School. As I think Loyola was a little more realistic. It was also cheaper, and they're more honest about it. Law schools will tell you, you'll get a big law job. This is across the board. And you'll make $180,000. Child, I have yet to see that money. Yet. Very few people make that amount. So if you're not making that amount, Casey Novak, boom. Thank you, Liberated Live. Guan Casey. If you're not making that amount, how the heck are you supposed to pay out? I borrowed for a law school $225. Yeah, $225 when you make $180. Yeah, you could pay that off 2 years, 3 years. Easy. It took me until 3 years out of law school to even make six figures, low six figures, which in New York, if you're not familiar, tax on tax on tax. You make six figures, you take home like barely 70. Also, to live here, that's at least 30 if you're being cheap. At least 30K if you're being cheap. So 40K a year to pay off 225. In 5 years post law school, my interest alone, which I've talked about this, ballooned to $54,000. Just in interest. So yeah, no, I do not recommend the damn law school loans. But yes, go definitely watch that video. I don't want to deter people. Like, if that's your life passion, your dream, okay, cool. It will still be your dream in a more cost-effective manner. So yes, we are. I'm glad you brought that up, Windfire. Chelsea sent it to me like yesterday. So we're going to talk about that. Thank you, L. Robinson. We're going to talk about mess. I have to go find the lawsuit is what it is. So let me go on my cellular device and look up the questions on Instagram. I'm like, how did you do this? Oh, scroll up. Okay, see all. Let's see. So let's start with Abdulio. Two people asked this actually. So Abdulio asked, and then G. Stephen Roper asked. Abdulio specifically asked the parish. So, which parish are you from? Also, congrats on 10K subscribers. Thank you. I can't talk right now. So, I was born here in New York and grew up in Miami. My mom is from St. Catherine, and my dad is from St. Thomas Parish. Parish. My whole life, whenever, y'all know I'm old lady. I'm a strong 65 on the inside. My whole life, whenever people are like, we're in Jamaica. And I was like, St. Thomas. They're like, that's a different country. And I'm like, you're not Jamaican, clearly. St. Thomas Parish is Forgotten Parish. We have a house there. We also have a farm. It's beautiful. If you don't know where it is, good. There are no tourists there. I love it. There also is like Sea Road, Sea View. I think it's like called Sea View, like where there's no railing. There's no railing in any of the damn streets, like in that part of Jamaica. North Coast is nice. It's built up. It's fancy. Not Forgotten Parish. Jamaican, exactly. Yeah. That's when my dad gets vexed with me. He's like, damn Jamaican. That's what he says to me. So rude. And obviously the way I just said that was very Jamaican. But yeah, so Seaview Road, like I've seen vans fall into the sea. Because no railing, child. But I love it. And so specifically like where the farm is in Danvers Penn, which the only way you know where Danvers Penn is means we're related. I think the population of Danvers Penn might be like 500 people max. Thank you, Jody S. Thank you. That's so kind of you. Also, they asked when the last time I'd been before the pandemic. I would like to go because my boyfriend is very American from South Carolina, and I would like to take him to, the land of the free, where, by free, I mean you can teeth electricity and, just live life. Captured land. None of my business. That's none of my business. But yes. Can you get a law degree in another country and still practice in the U.S.? You can, but you have to take the bar exam in the U.S. And I believe, I'm trying to think if you have to do the LLM program. I'm not sure, but they have LLM programs, which are Masters of Law. So usually a lot of foreign lawyers will do an LLM. It's about 1 year intensive program and then take a state bar. So you have to take a state bar. I don't know if the LLM is required. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, St. Mary. Listen. Oh, I've never heard of where that is. Interesting. Jamaica's a beautiful place. If you haven't been, you should go. It's lovely. It's just a happy, happy place. Oh, all right. Child, me and YouTube fight constantly. I got a video demonetized, which was super annoying. Like somebody asked me, and I'm kind of interested in doing like a real React video, particularly like personal finance. I think is really interesting when you're paying off your student loans. It's in your face all day. So I would like to do those, but that's what I'm terrified of. So my favorite like series on YouTube is CNBC's Make It. Millennial Money. So yeah, CNBC Make It, I think is like what the channel is called. And then it's Millennial Money, where it profiles millennials and like how they spend. You see all their money. Like it's good for nosy people, you want to see. And certain people will do reactions to it, but I'm terrified. Like I spent all this work editing and then they're like, no, copyright strike. So I haven't done it. I think it's like very annoying. It's just very annoying. Also, my dear friend and YouTube fairy godmother, that's what I forgot. Thank you, Justin. For child lifting me up. He was the first big content creator, big YouTuber that I did a collab with. And Justin runs the Binge-Worthy channel. It's amazing. But he does a lot of commentary on reality TV. So that's something that him and I have definitely talked about. Hi, Miss Noor. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see like some of these questions. All right. LOHOIE. Y'all know that whenever I pronounce something right, I'm like, oh, I practice this. I don't know how to say this on Instagram. Lohoe. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Hopefully I'm not saying it too bad. What does it feel like getting to 10K subscribers? How does that feel? It feels like, as an adult is like a weird thing. Growing up is very like, measured success. You go to the next grade, you get the diploma. Like if I got an A, like I did like a really good thing. I like becoming because I think my personality, before people are like, compare yourself to Michelle Obama? No, never. Child, please. I live in reality. However, the personality type of somebody who is like first one in law school is very similar. So like that's why I love becoming, because when I read it, I was like, oh, I feel like someone's talking to me. And in there, she said that she was a box checker. And I was like, yes, somebody that's like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this. So like growing up, that's how it is. You get to adulting, child, there's no manual, there's no box to check. There's just like, oh, I don't know. Like, I guess we're surviving. The plant didn't die. The plant died. That's why the plant is gone. So, so getting to 10K was kind of like, oh, let me set this goal for myself. I'm like super goal oriented. So like, oh, let me set this goal for myself and like see if we can get there. But also this goal is not particularly fully dependent on me. So like I could show up and then, it doesn't happen. And like, that's okay too. So it feels like, oh, wow, like this really happened? Like, and it doesn't feel like I checked a box. It feels like I worked towards something and that like we did it together. So I'm still a little stunned. I do want to like live in it for like the week. Because I feel like sometimes like, or at least what I'm learning with social media and like follower count, things like that, it can get to like, oh, like we gotta keep going. And I want the interaction. I like the interaction. I want to be helpful. I want this channel to be helpful. Child, if you learned anything from this channel, it is that. Please get a contract in place. Read the contract. Make sure you understand the contract. Have someone explain it to you. So yes. So that's how that feels. Not Saul Goodman. I'm done. I've never asked her. Older Jamaican people love country westerns, child. What is that man? What is that man? Like he has like kind of like reddish hair. What is his name? They love like old crime shows. That's all like they love to watch. Listen, I love Becoming. I cried so hard when her parents got her to France. Listen, it's just like a beautiful thing. Like I just love that show. The documentary I've watched at least 4 times. Like if I'm having a bad day, I watch that or watch Homecoming by Beyonce. It just motivates you. It makes you just feel great. Matlock. Yep. Listen, living with my grandparents was the best thing I ever did in my life. Sometimes I call her and I'm like, Grandma, I should just come home. She's like, come now. I'll pack up your things. I miss it there. And then Texas Ranger. Yep. Texas Ranger is the reddish hair man. Yes, it is Texas Ranger. And I know that's not a lawyer, but like, law crime man. Child law crime man. That's not the word. Wasn't he like a police detective? People are going to watch this and be like, oh, clearly an itty boo. So yeah, she loves Matlock and she loves Texas Ranger. Also, yes. I've recently accepted that I'm a box checker too, and I'm just learning to not base my worth on the goals I achieve. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to make lifestyle decisions now, which is something that can be very hard for people that have tied their worth to being a box checker, which I have my whole life. So for example, I did bodybuilding competition 2 years ago. It was great. It was like something like a far off dream in my mind. Like me get on a stage in that, where these people not doing it. But part of me was like, damn, they look good though. I want to try this. When I finally did it, I was like, what? 16 weeks, like put on the muscle, like lost the weight. Like if you watch my weight loss video, there's like a picture of it in a little video. It was great. Yeah, I hit the goal and then kind of fell off. I don't look like that anymore. And now I'm trying to integrate things like what do I like and how can it be a lifestyle? So like YouTube, I really like this. I would like to continue this. I don't want it to be like, oh, I hit 10K, cool. I want it to be like, oh, okay, this is great. This is part of something that I like. This is my lifestyle. So I'm trying to work on that. Chuck Norris, there we go. Child, this whole time I'm sitting here, I'm like, yes. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Kareem. Chuck mother effing Norris. But yeah, so that I'm trying to work on. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do, but I think it's possible. All right, so back to Instagram. Wait, right there. Hold on. Okay. So that one we answered that one. All right. So Press a Button said, advice for someone new to paying off student loans. Friends say I shouldn't care. You should box them down. Just kidding. Don't choose violence. Ignore those friends. I have friends who are well-meaning people. I love them. They're wonderful. Oh, as much as me. And child will literally have said to my face, I will die with these student loans. I'm like, but why? We don't have to die with the student loans. You have to ignore those people. And which I'm going to talk about when I finally upload that video, because I just sit here and film it, more in this month. So the May student loan update. But the way that I kickstarted myself, because I didn't have anybody that I knew, this is a keyword, because there's a lot of shame with student loans at first. I didn't have anybody that I knew that was paying them off. So I went to YouTube. YouTube can be a lovely place. You can find a lot of like-minded people. Hey, y'all. And found a lot of people that were paying off their student loans. So I would suggest start with Aja Dang, AJA Dang, DANG, in her channel. She paid off $200,000 in 2 years. That's a lot of money. She's a full-time YouTuber, yes. However, regardless of your income and however long it's going to take you, like for example, I have a 4-year repayment plan. I'm hoping, with some hard work and some luck, get it done faster. But it still was super motivating to me because she did, I think hers were bi-weekly. So she has a playlist. Child, I've watched that playlist at least 4 times. Literally. I literally, thank you, Korean. Come on. They're not bright. They might be great friends. I'm not saying dump these friends. But if they're not mentally in that space, that's fine. Say, okay, that's for you. That's not for me. I'm going to pay off my student loans, and then just don't talk to them about it anymore, to be honest, because they will just push their negativity on you. I have certain friends I do not talk about my student loans with because they don't have anything positive to say. And that's okay. That's for them. And me getting rid of Sally Mae is for me. So watch her playlist. It's very motivating because you can literally watch her from the minute she opened up and realized at, I think, 30 or 31 years old, damn, I owe all this money. I'm going to pay this back. I'm going to try. And some videos like mine is interesting. You can follow the arc, which I finally made a playlist and order them so you can watch it. You see the arc of like, at first it's exciting, child. Well, I'm paying it off. Woo, woo, woo. By month 6, that shit is miserable. And that's okay. So you literally see some videos for like 3-4 videos in a row where she's just crying. She's just like, I hate this. This is miserable. I'm never getting there. And you get to see her at the end. So this is Aja Dang, if you're just following now. You get to see her at the end do it. And she's literally on, I can't show y'all because I certain things I'm like, I need to come true. And then one of these days I'm hoping I'll show people, but I'm looking over at my vision board and Aja Dang is on my vision board and it literally says I'm debt free. And then her face, because like the look on her face, and she like recorded it. It's a video of her like calling, and then she had the student loan customer service person tell her, she was like, okay, so, can you just please confirm that I'm debt free? And the person's like, you're debt free, honey. And it is like, wow, like very few moments have I ever been so happy for a human being that I have never met in my life. It's amazing. So I highly recommend, make you some internet friends. I'm happy to encourage you. There are other people happy to encourage you. And your friends, I'm sure they're lovely people. Just do not listen to them about this because that's nonsense. That's complete nonsense. But yes. Oh, come on, Kareen. I'm ready to join you. I'm ready to join, child. I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm trying to not to have what is the word where like destination anticipation, like I don't know what the word, there's like some psychological phrase where you put like destination happiness. Like once I get there, I'm going to be happy. That is what I'm trying to learn myself. Like, okay, we could be happy now, but I could still really look forward to something. So I'm still trying to like enjoy life and, occasionally buy an Ankara top and have some fun because, child, thank you, B. Nicole. It's definitely frustrating, but it's awful. Awful. Oh, you have 10K left. There you go. You're almost there. All right. So Defingas asked, which also thank you to you, Defingas, for always sometimes send me things, always commenting. I appreciate you. Always with a funny joke. Marcus too. Appreciate you. All right. Not legal advice, but a good entertainment lawyer. Any suggestions? This is a great question. So most of my friends work in corporate now. So this is the truth. There are attorneys that work in corporate. So like you work for a company, it gets like busy, but it's nothing compared to a law firm. Child, my friends that work in big law, God bless them. I pray for them. It's rough. Like they work wild 80, 90 hours a week. Like craziness. Like I know people that have slept in the office because they have so much work, and which is why they can bill a lot. And I know some of them that work these crazy hours, but also work in smaller firms and don't get paid that much. So then I'm confused. So saying that to say, since most of my friends are other in-house people, they don't like take private clients, but I will do some research. because I want to make sure if I like refer somebody, like, is this somebody good? I don't want y'all to all of a sudden be in a problem. And I'm like, oh my God. So, which is why this channel, why I like it, is try to like impart things like current events, lawsuits that we've seen, and like, you know, apply if it works. You know, if it's applicable, then apply that. But yes, finding a good attorney can be done. I would say definitely interview, definitely do a Google search. Like, just look up their name and see if they have any lawsuits, child. See if they've been sued. Like, remember Migos' attorney? Multiple lawsuits prior to them. Very interesting. All right. Chelsea. Hi, boo. Yes, yep. Life is what happens in between your goals. Like One Big Happy Life says. One Big Happy Life, Tasha from One Big Happy Life is great. But yes, you can always look forward to the destination. That I have a lot of people start with Dave Ramsey, and I won't like drone on about it. Outside of like his problematicness, before like that was very known, he was already crotchety. People start with Dave Ramsey, they realize like, I don't know about this. And I did a video a couple weeks ago on One Big Happy Life versus Dave Ramsey, like the two methods. And I would say the One Big Happy Life method allows for real life. Like Dave, it's interesting. Good night, Windfire. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Pocket Watching. Thank you. All right. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's like the goal. I want to be helpful, and I want like you guys to get out of something, and also like I want us to have a laugh, because child, what is life without a laugh? You know. Oh, here goes Chelsea. Here, Hollywood Reporter publishes a list of top entertainment attorneys every year. So you might be thinking like, okay, that's great. Do I have Hollywood money? All you got to do is find that list, and then you can kind of see who they're connected with. Like go on LinkedIn, be like, oh, okay, like who is this somebody they work with, and is somebody cheaper? You can always find someone like a better price too. So that's actually, if you have the cash, that's actually a good idea too. So thank you guys. Let's see. Let me see if I have any. Do I? Oh, heck no. I hate the winter. It's dirty. No, I'm hopefully next year, end of next year, sometime soon in the future, moving back down to Miami. I've been 7 years this year, 7 years next week. As an adult, because like I was born here, but as an adult, yeah, I want to move back to the sunshine, to the sunshine and the beach. Okay, so let me see. I think there was like one more question on. Lord, me trying to navigate this thing is so funny. Okay, so from Fave Podcast, which is run by my colleague. Hi, boo, Kadian. What's something that surprised you about this journey? YouTube to me is a foreign place. I used to use YouTube for like, how do I fix this? How do I put the IKEA furniture together? And it never really occurred in music videos. I was definitely one of those like, child, old lady. Like, oh, listen to the music. Sad. It never occurred to me that YouTube could be a full source of like entertainment. Now I mostly watch YouTube, and then Handmaid's Tale, of course. Child, June Osborne is a wild human being. Fascinating. So what I've learned is how like there's something for everybody on YouTube, which I think is super cool. Also, trying to come back. Listen, the most interesting thing is seeing how similar life can be to somebody that you have not met. And I say that because remember the channel started out for student loans. So back when I had like 10 subscribers, it felt fine, and it would have been fine because it was like, okay, I'm not by myself. Because at that point, I didn't like, my friends were like, okay, cool. Like, whatever, your little student loans. Like, I'm ignoring mine. It was so nice to find community. And that was not something I was expecting. Like, even now, like when we have these lives, I'm like, wow, this is like, thanks guys. Like, this is a lot of fun. Like, the community aspect has surprised me the most about YouTube in the positive way. In the negative manner, me being the naive Nancy that I am, child, the trolls have surprised the crap out of me. I was not aware that grown men, cisgendered heterosexual men, and I'm going to point my finger, if this does not apply, let it fly. Actually, better than let it fly, go check your brethren and tell him to stop. The Veritol, I was not prepared for that. Some of the comments on the Joe, but I'm just like, really? That's how you feel in your mama's basement? Like, okay. Like, bye. Like, that I was not like prepared for. I was not prepared for it. I don't know if one can ever be prepared for that. To be honest, like I see like mega YouTubers being like, oh, like they just stop reading the comments. And I don't want to get to the point where I don't read the comments because I like talking to all of you. But sometimes, like after a certain point in certain videos, I'm like, I refuse to look at those videos comments. I'm like, no, sorry about you. Like catch me the next one, because I'm like, it goes and it spirals into like a crazy place. And Robert and I actually had talked about this once, where when the channel first started, I could control all of it. Like in certain videos I do where I like people being reckless, people being disrespectful. Like I've had people on the Dave Ramsey video to date is the most wild comment section. Not all, again, but particularly evangelical white men mad in those comments. For context, that video is about Dave Ramsey firing his employee because she was pregnant outside of wedlock. Yes, you heard that correctly. Yes, he said it to her in email. That's the reason why he fired her child. It was a mess. It was a mess. Exactly. At some point, you can't keep up with it. So that video was the first time where I was like, give that to Jesus. They were in the comments saying crazy stuff. Like, of course, you guys know I support Black-owned wines. I'm, for various reasons. Anybody with an ounce of sense understands why you should support Black-owned business. Whether or not you are Black, you should, because this country does not help Black people the same way that it helps everybody else. Let's live in reality. People are in the comments, I cannot watch this video because it's racist. Why does it matter who the wine is from? And I'm like, right? Boo, do you know what the word racist means? Mary Jean, do you know what the word racist means? That's not correct. That is not child stressed. When I tell you that comment section is full of stressful people. And there were some people, and I'll give them the credit, minimal amounts, being like, as a Christian, as an evangelical Christian, I don't agree with what Dave did, think it's disgusting. And like some of you in these comments are shameful. And I was like, yes, call them out. So it's not everybody, but there were enough of them to where, child, I was confused. I was a little taken aback. That is the most disliked video. Of course, everything is like perception. Like as a human, you amplify the negative. So I think that video has like 1,000 and something likes, which you can't see it right now because I was trying to disincentivize them from like engaging with the video. I think it has like 1,000 likes, but it has like 200 dislikes, which is a lot. I'm like, y'all really that upset? Okay, child. Listen, they need to live in reality. They need to stop. But yeah, I was not prepared. I don't know if you can ever get prepared for that because it feels deeply personal, someone like trying to come at you, which I told you guys this last live or the live before. Sometimes I get spicy with them and I post them on Instagram too. I get spicy with them back and then I block them just to like be an ass. I'm like, haha, you wanted your 5 minutes of attention? You got 1 second and I'm gonna block you so you can't say anything. Like, yeah, that's petty. Oh, dislikes help the video though. It's like I know, but like in my mind, I'm just like, ugh, like so rude. And the funny thing is the information was correct. In child, when somebody doesn't like something, you would think magically through osmosis, they have all of a sudden got a law degree for free, which how they've done this, I don't know. Child, they start saying random stuff that I'm like, that is not correct. It's mad people in those comments being like, she's an at-will employee. He can fire her at any time. You cannot fire at-will employees for discriminatory reasons, dumbass. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Sorry, now I'm upset. That's not how that works. Had he just fired her and not said anything, then yes. And also, like, if you had listened, I already said that. But child, they have worked up their face to be so red and be so upset they can't get there. So yeah, that has been the two most surprising things. The community, wonderful. And then like how angry. It's really the surprising part to me, how angry a stranger can get at someone they will never see in their life. Most likely. Why are you so mad? If I see something on YouTube that I don't like, I just click off of it. I'm like, oh, it's not for me. Okay. Child, very interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, come on, armchair attorneys. That's what they are. Someone called me a living room attorney the other day, and I was like, Yamuma. That's what I thought in my mind. I was like, you wish you were a living room attorney. It really made me laugh. It really made me laugh. Child, they are the most un-Christ-like in that. I could get petty with them because some of them are dumb with it. Like their whole government name is there. I'm like, you know that you are harassing somebody online, like saying wild, reckless things. Some of them was like, oh, She shouldn't have been a hoe, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have to send this to your HR department. Like, you two can play the carrot game. You want to do this? But yeah, anyways, so I don't let that go. Listen, so it's very interesting. It's very interesting. But yeah, so those were all of the Instagram questions. Do we have any more questions? Are we good? This was like fun. I feel like I'm pretty impartial. Like, come on. That Kanye video, when we did that Kanye video, I said in the beginning, like, listen, I don't like Kanye. I used to. We're like, done with it. And then proceeded to go through the contract and say, like, oh, he's correct. It's fine. It's totally fine, child. They act like they're dying. They act like my opinion is like going to murder them. Like, so they have to just, okay. I'm getting better. I'm getting better to laugh at it. Ooh, favorite wine. Someone asked me this earlier. My favorite wine, which we've had on the channel, and I was surprised by how good it was. I was like, wow, is Aslina, which is a South African brand by, oh God. When I said her name last time, I had practiced it for like 20 minutes. Insiki Biela. She is the first Black woman winemaker in South Africa, which is amazing. Her Sauvignon Blanc is everything. It's the best. It's so good. It's so, so, so good. Second after that, any brand, Sancerre. Sancerre is great. I freaking love Sancerre. And then y'all know I love cheap Pinot Grigio. Specifically cheap Pinot Grigio. It's great. It's great. Yeah, you're right. You know, I'm learning to just let it fly away. Someone commented, and I really should have reamed them out because it was racist, it was sexist in the Joe Budden one. It was something like, I just blocked them but I should have reamed them out and then blocked them. But I was like, I'm not even give this person the energy. It was like a paragraph, and it was like, this chick, child. I was like, oh, I'm a baby chicken. Interesting. This chick doesn't even look like a lawyer or give any lawyer vibes. I'm sorry, Chad, that I don't look like a middle-aged crotchety white man. My apologies to you. Child. Anywho, child. Have you watched I have a Joe Rogan episode with Kanye. It's super interesting. No, I haven't. I haven't actually watched. I'm not a big, honest, not a big podcast person, but it is an interesting format. Earlier today, because now that I've like see some of it, I was watching Kev on Stage. I think is hilarious. It's just like seems like a nice human being. I was watching Kev on Stage and Angel. I don't know what their podcast is called. It's great. They were talking about Bill Gates and Melinda Gates getting divorced, and it was hysterical, child. It was hysterical. All right. Let's see. Hello. My brother-in-law was fired once for posting something dumb on Facebook. Someone reported him. So it is asinine for them to post comments like that with their whole government name. That's what I wonder. I'm like, your whole government name is you on here, what? You at least make you know what? That's none of my business again. None of my business. Here's the thing. Yes. It's great. I really like that. I really enjoyed that. So I'm like, oh, I might listen to this a little bit more. I like this. It was a lot of funny. Yeah, that comment was wild. Like, what? Very angry, very juvenile, very in need of therapy. Like Maul said, I think his name is pronounced Maul said, what was the quote? You stop talking to stupid people that think you're smart. It's like, child, that made me laugh. But also, like, Maul and Roy also said things that I didn't agree with either, like just personality wise. Like when men call women females, I'm like, oh Jesus, not another one. Why? Who asked for this? Why can't you just say women? Well, why? It will never cease to amaze me. But yes, well, thank you, y'all. Now I gotta figure out drink all this. Okay, maybe some of it today is Thursday. It's gonna go flat. Damn. I'll figure this out. Yes, here we go. And then I think Angel also has a YouTube as well. She was very funny. I like them. They're nice. He's speaking of Kev on Stage, his video I think it's his video. It's on his wife's channel as well. I watched it because Kimberly posted it from For Harriet, which is the video of his wife threw him at NAACP Image Award party for him being nominated. It's one of like, wow, like I literally shed a tear. You should really watch it. It's beautiful. It's like a very big testament. Sorry. It's a very big testament to like just following your dreams. Like there's a part in it where because he got nominated for the Image Award, and so she threw him. The party was beautiful, and so there's a part in it where he's talking about him working in corporate, and he was like, I felt every second of that job. And he was like, I just gotta try, like, I just gotta try my dream. And how his wife supported him, and he tried, like, the comedian, it's clearly worked out for him. And it was just so nice to see somebody like, a regular person like me and you, who like life told you gotta go work in corporate and do all that, and they're just like, no, it's not for me. Like I feel like my soul is dying and I'm gonna try it. So it's nice to see somebody like that win. It's so nice to see it. So I would hopefully be like little next post corporate success story, like bye. But yeah, it's beautiful. I highly recommend it. But yes, listen, the funny hats made me laugh. Ironically enough, when I didn't even understand the full context of the hats, which someone nicely explained to me. But yeah. All right, y'all. Let me see. I have you playing in the background while I'm at work. I'm like, oh no, not me. Child, listen, I'm doing good. Listen. Oh no, not all of us. Sometimes I'm at work and it's like, okay, we're gonna one day we're gonna see. I hope I get there. I hope we get there. I really hope we do. I don't know who that is, but I'll look her up. But yeah. So yeah, I hope we get there. It's just, I have thoughts. I have thoughts on corporate America, which we've covered in a different video. It's just an interesting place. It's not for everybody. And I really don't feel like everybody should con themselves into thinking like they have to suffer through it. Like life is long. People are like, life is short. Life is long. And it's made up of all your small decisions that just stack up. And next thing you know, you're 70 and you're like, gosh darn it, I wasted it. So she's Jamaican. Okay, I'll actually, because I had pinned it. Natalie Lawyer Chick. Is that what the name of the channel is called? I'll look at it. Favorite legal based movie. Well, it used to be Law and Order, like the show Rise, Law and Order, until I went to law school. I was like, this is factually inaccurate. How to Get Away with Murder is so inaccurate, but I really loved it. And I love Viola Davis, so I watch it anyway. Movie, though, I'm not like the biggest movie person. I don't want to be like, Legally Blonde. That movie is funny. It's just like foolishness and it's funny. I'm going to look her up, Liberated Life. So yeah. Or Jamaican. Listen, I'll claim America when America claims me. I'm very Jamaican. My cousin Vinny, people always tell me about that. I've never watched it. I need to watch that. There's like the lawyer movies I like are like the very dramatic, sad movies. What is the movie with Matthew McConaughey? I think it's not Matthew McConaughey and somebody Owens. I always forget the first name. Look the same. So I always forget like who is who in the movie. Law-Abiding Citizen is good. I like that one. That's a good one. But yeah. So yeah. Well, thank you guys. This was lovely. Look at the time. I didn't realize the time went. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining. So this is lovely. I'm not that old. Dallas Buyer Clubs. I'm gonna have to try. A Time to Kill is. I think that might be what it is. Is that? Let me Google it really quick. I think that's what the movie is. A Time to Kill. Yep. Yeah, which is like super dark, but I really like that. Not Irish. I'm done with y'all. A Time to Kill is sad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not happy. I like the dramatic stuff, and then comedy. This is not really in between, which is why I really like period pieces, because they're just dramatic. Legia Miller. Okay, I'm gonna write these down. John Grisham, he's a great author. Yep. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm gonna write these. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for coming celebrating with me. And Lord Jesus, this damn top. But yes, I appreciate you. And yeah, so actually, I'm glad because I almost forgot. Next week, we're not going to have a live because I'm going to go visit Shayna in Arizona. So I'm super excited because I haven't been to Arizona ever in my life. So I'm going to go hiking and go relax and just unplug. So we won't have a live next week, but you'll have videos like before I go, which will be great. So I think coming up, yes, not I think, yes, what is it? May student loan update. It's so funny, Liberated Life, that you said my Irish accent. That's what I tell my boyfriend whenever he tries to chat patois. So he's rubbing off on me. It's the other way around. So that will come out, the May student loan update, which I'm going to do like a whole background of like, how does it feel to pay off your loans for an entire year? Because I think that's something people don't talk about a lot. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's not going to be quick. So I think that's what we're going to talk about in that one. And then we're going to do Kimura. And then Kimmy Kim, Miss Kardashian, might be getting sued by her employees. So let's see if they actually do it. Because they said she didn't want to run them their coins. So that will be interesting. So yes, Tom Clancy, I will check him out. So yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And I hope all of you have a lovely night. And thank you guys for coming. Oh yeah. Yes, Kimora Lee. Ciao. That is an interesting one. Meet Kevin. Oh, no, I haven't heard of him. I'm glad you guys are sending me all these. I'm going to start watching these. I'm going to look back in them. Yes, Miss Kimora Lee. You know who she's getting sued by? Russell Simmons. Her ex-husband is suing her. Ciao, mess. So that I think will be an interesting one. Oh, child, we are so done. We are done with that topic. Yes. Thank you for asking this so we can put it to it. They're just going to go back and forth. We're done with that topic unless, and only unless, if one of them decides to pull a Kanye. Yes, Blood Honey. Which, thank you to you, Blood Honey. I'm so, see, I told you I forgot people. Focusing. We're done with that topic unless one of them pulls a Kanye and drops and releases their contract, which they shouldn't do because I don't think they have Kanye money to do that. But if they do, then we'll talk about the actual contract because I'm not about to go back and forth with, the osmosis lawyers who think, child, I'm not about to argue with them. So yes, and during my thank yous, I knew I missed somebody and it was you. Thank you for always keeping me honest. Also, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you this, your comment on the colonialism video, I agreed with most of it. I did. Trifling. Which, actually, I have a question before we go. I have a really question, which is, we did a video a while ago when the Meghan and Harry interview came out about colonialism and the crown. It is, for me personally, my favorite video that I've done. I love talking about things like that. I love talking about sociological issues, particularly with race, critical race theory, colorism, texturism, featureism, all those things that I benefit from and I'm very honest about. I would love to talk more about that, and particularly in terms of colonization. It really, really irks my nerve. One of the things is that we have modern society have forgotten about it. Certain people have decided that they don't want to talk about it. I think that there are a lot of topics, particular colonizers that have gotten away with these wrongdoings. I have a list. I've made a list of them. We could start with Belgium, who has actually enacted the largest genocide in the world, and most people don't know that. So I wanted to do a series and I wanted to run it by y'all and get your feedback before we go. What do you think about a series? Lord, as I look here, so inappropriate. What do you think about a series like Colonizer Exposed, where we can start with Europe. Charles, I was today, exactly. Amen. The church said amen. What do you think about, and there are countries in Asia too. I was, into my grown age, with my lovely Korean friend, Jen, thank you so much for always supporting me, explained to me that Japan also colonized Korea and did awful things, which blew my mind. I didn't know that. Like, we are not educated on these things and we need to be more educated. But I would like to start with Europe since that is a central point, since we all have been force-fed all their history, except for the awful parts about the history. So what do you think about like a colonizer exposed series? We'll still keep legal shenanigans. We'll still keep the law school videos, but it was something I was thinking about. So I was just curious about your thoughts. Also, are you prepared for those comments? And by you, I mean me. Certain people don't like when their dirty laundry gets aired out. I'm sure the French will act a fool when we cover them because, child, they don't want to talk about how they've been paying former enslavers reparations for years, or England, So, okay, it seems like you guys are interested in. Check out my new book, Sami Puri. Okay, I will look at that. Okay, so we're thinking about that. Okay, I'm going to start doing that. Is going to require obviously like a lot of research. So I am going to. Oh, amen. Oh, they're on that list. They're top 3 on that list. Do you think they're getting away with this? Oh no, negative, not 9. So thank you, Ray. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe we'll do like initial like us chat, like hurry up, we could talk for 10 minutes and then shut the comments off. Because listen, Joe, who is this? I don't have time for this. Joe, like, what is this? Oh, sorry, Shamia. I meant to remove Johnny. Oh no. You can't undo it. I did the wrong person. Well, I meant to remove Johnny Fever, accidentally remove Shamia. Hopefully, like, it's only for this one, and then it will just fix it back. So sorry. Oh, see, I really got to learn how to use technology. I'm so sorry, honey, if you come back and watch this. Exactly, Belgium did the worst. Okay, I think it would be interesting. Ooh, this is good. Okay, let me write this down. Okay, I think it'll be interesting. I think it might be a little bit contentious. Cass, that you were telling me to read, Robert, which I started and I need to finish. Okay, that's good. It will be fun to revel in their angst. Child, they're gonna be upset. Child. Oh well. Okay, good. I wanted to like do a pulse check and see like what your thoughts are on that, because I think it needs to be done, and I think it would be lovely if we could do it together. So that would be very good. Okay, great. Listen. Okay, lovely. Well, good. I'm glad I remembered to ask that. So I will see y'all in videos during the week. I won't see y'all next Thursday, but we'll pick back up the Thursday after. I'm thinking, I'm trying to think if we want to do like just video format or if we should do it live. So we'll work that out and see. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank all of you for joining. I appreciate you. It's lovely. This has been fun. I'm down for it. So that was my thought, Robert, to do it, to finally make Patreon. Patreon is a safe space, child. And trust me, I'm not going to set the price high. We might do that. I don't know how bold I am. I don't know how bold I am. I don't know how my patience level is set up for that type of comment section. Because I have a lot of thoughts. Thank you, Sermon Institute for Success. Thank you. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. I will let you guys know. I appreciate you guys. You know first, since we talked about it. But yeah, maybe we'll do that and then like tease it on Instagram and like do shorter parts on YouTube instead of like the full-fledged. We could see how they react, child. Oh no, exact. Don't worry. That's the exact reason why I would never set the price high. This is the exact reason. I'm like, that would be trifling of me. So don't worry at all. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there and staying with me this whole time. And here's to our little community. And may it grow in a positive way, child. Please, Jesus. And if not, may it just be positive like this. Well, I appreciate you guys always, and have a good night and have a good weekend. And hopefully one day we will get to a 4-day work week. So this will be the weekend. All right, y'all. I'll see you later.